An important first step in controlling a vector-borne disease like Zika or dengue is to understand the biology of the vector. When the biology of the vector is fully understood, one can try to think of interventions, for example controlling the population. I will tell you more about the basic biology and life cycle of Aedes aegypti. The mosquito undergoes 4 distinct stages of development: the egg, the larvae, of which there are 4 different stages, the pupa and adult stage. The life cycle starts with a female Aedes aegypti mosquito taking a blood meal. Only females bite. The females need blood to provide the nutrients for the production of eggs. The females can produce on average 100 to 200 eggs per batch, and they can do so 5 times during their lifetime, every 3 to 4 days. The number of eggs they produce is dependent on the size of the blood meal they've taken. The eggs are smooth, ovoid-shaped and about 1 millimeter long. When freshly laid, they appear to be white, but they turn black within minutes. Unlike some mosquito species, Aedes aegypti lays its eggs separately, not in rafts. Not all eggs have to be laid at once. It can be spread out over hours or days, depending on the availability of the suitable substrates. Unlike other mosquitoes, Aedes aegypti will not usually lay its entire batch at a single site, but spread the eggs over several sites. This behavior is often referred to as skip oviposition behavior. Unlike some other mosquitoes, Aedes aegypti eggs are not laid directly in water. They are laid on damp surfaces in areas that are likely to flood, such as tree holes, barrels, jars, pots, buckets, flower vases, tanks, discarded bottles and tires, and many more other places where rainwater comes together or is stored. The eggs are most often placed at different distances above the waterline. The development time of the eggs is dependent on temperature. In warm climates, the eggs may develop as little as 2 days, but in cooler climates it can take up to a week. It is notable that laid eggs can survive for very long periods in a dry state, often more than a year. The eggs will immediately hatch when submerged in water. This ability to survive the drying process has facilitated the long-distance transport of mosquitoes across the world and provides an ongoing challenge for control and monitoring efforts. Once the larvae hatch out from the eggs, they begin to feed. Larvae will start feeding on algae and other small organisms, using their mouthparts, which resemble brushes. The larvae spend most time at the water surface, where they can breathe air through tubes at the end of their bodies, called siphons, but they will swim to the bottom when disturbed, for example by a predator or even by a shadow, and they will also swim to the bottom when they're feeding. The larvae pass through 4 stages of development, called instars. At the end of each stage, the larvae shed their skin, a process called molting, enabling them to grow in size. They spend a short amount of time in the first 3 instars and up to 3 days in the 4th instar, which are approximately 8 millimeters long. The development of larvae is also temperature dependent. When temperatures are cool, Aedes aegypti can stay in larval stage for months. On average, males develop faster than females and will undergo change in the next stage of development, the pupae, earlier. After the 4th instar, the larvae develop into pupae. Mosquito pupae are mobile and they respond to stimuli in the water, for example, movement or shadow, enabling them to escape from potential predators. Pupae don't feed and they need approximately 2 days to develop into adults. Adult mosquitoes emerge from the pupae. The process of adult emergence from the pupa is risky for the mosquito, as their exoskeleton is soft and they are at risk at drowning in the water. Adults emerge by ingesting air to expand the abdomen, which causes the pupal case to split open, and the mosquito can emerge head first. The adult mosquito itself is approximately 4 to 7 millimeters, dark with white markings on the legs and a marking on top of the thorax, which makes it easily recognizable. The males of all species of mosquitoes do not bite humans or animals of any species, they live on nectar. The female of Aedes aegypti feed not only on nectar but also on blood. In total, it takes 1 to 2 weeks from an egg to reach adulthood. Following emergence, an adult female mosquito will search for a blood meal from nearby hosts, frequently humans, in order to provide the nutrients for egg production. A female that has laid one egg batch may seek to take another blood meal, and then the cycle will begin again.